XCon is coming to Berlin. Sign up now to get early access to tickets and a 20% discount. These tickets will go fast, so don't miss out.
Hi and welcome to the update with the dev stream. I'm Philip Sirk, Product Marketing Manager on Imperator, and with me I have Joachim, who is the producer, and I have Niels, who is the tech lead.
Hi.
So the plan for today is to go through the first 24 hours of the game, even though it's not really 24 hours, it's 22 hours. Then we're going to talk about the upcoming 2 updates that we have lined up for you, and then we're going to take questions from you that you have around the game. So maybe you could give a quick introduction of what you do and who you are on the Imperator team.
Of course, I am Joachim and I am the producer, which basically means I manage schedules and plans and releases, basically.
And you are?
I am Niels, tech lead. I'm responsible for the technical delivery of the game.
Nice. So first of all, we would just want to thank you for supporting us and buying this game. It's been an awesome release. We had a lot of fun, even though it was a bit stressful from time to time with some unforeseen issues and errors popping up. We realize that some of you have some issues, and this is a good time for you to talk about them and ask us why they're popping up and what we're going to do about them. But maybe we should start in talking about the first update that we're planning, and maybe who of you would be the best suited to sort of take us through it?
Well, we can just start by saying sort of the first update will feature fixes that has come up in the last sort of days and hours that we've found. We call it a hotfix, which basically covers crashes, out of syncs, and immediate concerns that we have.
Yeah.
Do we have any specific of those that we're looking into that we can?
Yeah, exactly. So we know there are out of syncs in multiplayer if you play with different languages. So we found the cause for that and we fixed those. We found some more out of syncs related to hot joining, so we fixed also those. We looked a bit into the performance, so we improved that as well. A lot more random bug fixes. I think we did some game balance tweaks as well in the hotfix.
Yes.
It's sort of like popped up, like we're responding right now, right? The developers, the programmers, and everyone on the team is still working upstairs on this hotfix. But we also we found stuff after we made our release candidate. And then so we've been looking into issues and like finding out stuff, and so, yeah.
So take me through it. How does it work? So we released the game at 6 p.m. local time.
Yeah.
Yes.
What happens for you guys? Do you just sit all day waiting for the game to be released, or what do you actually do on release day?
Yeah, what do we actually do?
Well, I mean, first of all, we wrap up any last minute fixes that we have. It's usually nothing in the game build, but it might be stuff like on the storefronts or Steam or such.
Exactly.
We usually communicate a bunch with players, with marketing, with media, and we send out some keys and such. But other than that, we try to find and start fixing issues that we know of that crop up in like the last few days leading up to release.
All right. So you're working up until the sort of the 10 minutes before the release, and then you join the stream, pop the confetti, and then it's back to work again.
Basically, yeah. That's what the release day is, right? Like because we know all the cool things, like not the cool things, but the stuff that we want to fix. But yeah, so it's just normal work day, really.
Because it's one thing that always becomes apparent when you're releasing a game, and this goes with my history of being at Paradox for 4.5 years, is that you can test how many times you can QA test the game for I don't know how many months, but once it's out in people's hand, there's so many people playing it, there's going to be bugs and issues that we can't foresee. Yeah,
but just look at the player numbers, right? We have, I don't know how many QA, but we have quite a lot of QA.
Yes.
But the number of players is at least 1,000 times more, right?
I think we peaked at 42,000 people at the same time.
Concurrent players on Steam. Yeah,
yesterday.
But we know there's more players have played the game.
Yes,
far more. And I think we have 40 QA in total. I think
something like that.
Something like that, right?
So what goes in then is that once the game is out, everyone is on their toes, ready to look at what happens with the game.
We have telemetry, right? We look at that basically guides us in like, all right, how well is it going, and we can see like, is multiplayer broken, or is this broken? Is that? And so we immediately noticed the login server being down, right? That's the one thing that everyone saw yesterday. So we got our friends at DevOps that were working till 11 last night to fix the issues.
And they were struck by an unfortunate lightning, as far as I know. They had some technical issues with the Amazon servers
Yeah,
going
correct.
down at the same time.
Yeah, the backend of Amazon servers were down, and so they couldn't immediately respond. Either they had to wait for Amazon to fix it, and then they could start working on our fixes.
So that sort of gives it a sort of a domino effect. If a
Yeah.
problem starts somewhere else, it's going to be hard for you to sort of act on it as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Interesting. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, it's mainly sort of going back to the amount of QA versus player time.
Yeah.
I think within the first hour or two, we've already spent more time playing the game out in the wild than we had any chance to test it.
Yeah.
And on 1,000 times as many different machines with different drivers, different
Yes.
hardware, and we can't reproduce that in-house.
No.
So we sort of need to be active and find and jump on any issues that shows up for players.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing now.
And with that said, I want to urge you to open a ticket with our support system, because once you open a ticket with us, we can talk with you directly and we can start problem solving together with you what the issues are. It's hard to act on a bug or an issue if someone says this is broken, please fix. So for us, it's really important for us that you open a direct line of communication, because our support guys, they are awesome, and we really want you to reach out with the issues you have so we can look into them.
No, yeah, we need those tickets. Else, fixing
Yes.
issues is difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally agree. So the 1.1 patch, what is that?
Before that, I saw
Before.
someone ask
Okay.
just about Demetrius. We do aim sort of having this hotfix out middle or late next week.
All right.
That's our aim. We'll see what happens, but that's what we'll target.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
that's it for the hotfix.
Demetrius. So Pompeii is
Yes.
the 1.1 patch. What is Pompeii?
It is basically stuff that the design team found based on the dev clash feedback, based on influencers and streamer feedbacks, based on beta players, based on internal QA, based on like the sentiment of players on the forums, even though they didn't really play the game yet.
Yeah.
But we came up with like a short list of this is what we
This is what people want.
Yeah, exactly.
So for those who you don't know, is that when working on a game development, you can't work on the game up until the release and release that version. You need to freeze it before and make sure that version is tested as good as it can be. So I'm assuming that the things that you have for Pompeii are stuff that like they can't make it to the release version or the release candidate of the game. It's stuff that we need to add afterwards. And it needs a bit of a thinking and tinkering and see how it matches and balancing.
Yeah, we need to implement it, then test it, right? We need to play with it, see if it actually is better, if it works, and
if it improves the experience.
Yeah, no. And so that's what we're doing right now with Pompeii.
Yeah. Someone is asking if there will be a public beta for the hotfix patch that we've had for other PDS games.
For Demetrius, no, there will not be a public
Most likely not.
No. We might try it, see what happens, but probably not.
No. We aim to get it out as fast as possible.
Yeah, exactly. And if we have to do a beta, then there's a lot of overhead there, and that just wastes time for all the people that want to get this patch.
Yep.
Yes.
So.
What else is included in Pompeii? Like, can we list sort of detail-wise? We've posted this on the forum as well, so if you want to just take your time, read it through in your own pace, that's fine. Johan made a post an hour ago, I think. So just go into the Imperator sub-forum that we have, then you can read up on it. But
well, a few of the highlights being sort of we're looking at the naval rework. Taking a look at naval combat, because that's not really in a place where we would like it to be.
No.
General sort of naval commander mechanics a bit, a few new traits.
Yeah.
Some
combined
pirate
with
stuff.
that, like the pirate, we're not happy with the pirates either, so
No.
we redid that. What else? Like some more character interactions. I think. The feedback was a lot like, okay, we have character interactions, but we want more, and we want more specific versions of it as well. So, looking into that, there was, the famous dual console that was missing on release. Johan finally find a way to make it work in the game.
yeah, because he spent a lot of time discussing that back and forth in the office. Because when we announced the game, we felt that the best way to play the game is with one console. But then we saw the feedback.
Yeah.
Johan went back to his sort of workshop and he spent a lot of hours, and then he came out with a good solution on how to fix that.
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
Yeah. And it's sort of a result of us playing the game a ton leading up to release now.
Yes.
Because that's when we really have time to put additional time into tinkering with the build and testing it.
Yeah.
Even though we can't necessarily put a lot of major changes into it, we can still evaluate it a ton more.
Yes.
Yeah, it's totally true.
And as Niels highlighted, I think it's worth mentioning again, like we do listen to the community, we do read the forums, we listen on social media, we listen to the influencers, to the YouTubers, to the press that have feedback, and this is a clear result of us taking that to heart and trying to improve the game from the get-go. Because Paradox and PDS foremostly, when we release a game, then we make a commitment that we'll make the best game it can be.
Oh yeah.
Over a long period of time.
We've only started working on Imperator from our point of view.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Anything else from the Pompeii that you think that people would really, really enjoy? Like that they're waiting to sort of have implemented?
There's some less visible mechanic changes,
Yeah.
but will have a large impact on how you actually play the game.
Yeah, I guess we can say a little. I don't know how much we can say. Well, so stability, right? That changes.
Exactly.
I think the stability changes will have a huge influence on the game. It is no longer -3 to +3, but a progress from 0 to 100, with 50 stability being the center. Lower than that, it's negative. Above that, it's positive. We're still trying this out, but we can already see like it has huge impact on like the way you play, the way you fight wars, the way you deal with like expansions or like expanding your country, and it's a massive change.
So it's not a hard commitment, but we're definitely looking into it, right?
Yeah. We are playing with it right
the
now.
list that Johan posted on the forum that we have in front of us, that's not everything that goes into the patch. There's still some things that we're looking into having, but we need to figure out how to make them work, because my understanding is now I'm not a dev, but there's always going to be like this Christmas list of things you want to have, and you have to draw the line.
Don't talk about the Christmas list.
You have to draw the line somewhere, right?
No, that's true. Now just remember the social media thing that you mentioned, right? It's like everyone on the team reads the social media, reads Reddit, reads the forums, reads the Twitter. We don't always comment.
No.
But we read pretty much everything.
I know, because everyone pokes me like every day. Have you seen this? Have you seen this?
Yeah. No.
Are we doing anything with this?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a great way to gather feedback.
Oh,
right?
It is.
It's sort of our main source for finding out what players think.
That and telemetry. So some of you might think that telemetry is us just collecting data to make business decisions from a marketing point of view. But as Niels pointed out, it's for us to figure out where the game breaks. What happens? And it also gives us information of key features. Are they being used in the way we intended them to be, or how they was designed, or people completely skipping them? So it gives us a sense of a direction to sort of focus when it comes to developing the game, which I think is really good to have.
And related to that as well, we find sort of the minor issues and the minor annoyances the players may have as well. And the feature list we want to get into Pompeii, I would say, is about 40 to 50% of our efforts. The rest of it is we're going to put into just general bug fixing, those quality of life polish things.
See what users really like, what you guys want us to fix, right?
Yeah.
So
it's going to be very reactive from now on. So up to this point, we've mainly worked on pre-planned stuff, because we've been able to sort of think what we want to add. But from now on, we're going to dedicate time to sort of what you guys want. So voice your concerns and quality of life improvements. And we'll try to either get them into the patch or potential future content.
Yeah. And just to point out, it's really frustrating because the devs, they are very resilient when it comes to, we're not going to make commitments on what we're going to do for the next X amount of years. We want to have the player feedback. We want to develop the game together with the community and make sure that everyone is on board on what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating from my point of view, but I can actually live with that. I can live with that.
Nice.
The big point for us is also to sort of find the identity of Imperator now.
Yes.
Because we've made a game, and we're very happy with it.
Yes.
But from now on, we're going to shape the game as much as what the community would like to see.
No, it's totally true.
And what they find most fun.
Yeah.
So depending on the community feedback, that will sort of direct which way we take Imperator and where it ends up.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it'll be a very different game some months from now, some years from now.
Yeah.
So
I see people asking stuff about the November crash.
Ah.
Yeah, so this will definitely get fixed in the Meteors patch.
Yeah.
And we're working hard to release it as quickly as possible.
Should we jump into questions? We've spent 20 minutes talking.
Oh,
That'd
yes,
be good
for
idea.
sure.
Straight. Some interaction. So tag Paradox Interactive in the chat, because then the text becomes green for us and it's much easier to read than anything else.
I see here, Nils. I think we should bring up stuttering that some people are experiences.
Right.
Some few, some a lot of stuttering.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of all over the place. We're still sort of identifying what people find as stuttering or not. So one thing, right? People know that this is a new genre of games because it comes with the Jomini layer.
Yeah.
So the underlying architecture is completely different, and the stuttering compared to EU4 or Hoi4, Stellaris even, versus what is Imperator, works completely different. There are improvements to this in the Demetrius patch as well, but I'm sure this will not fix all stuttering issues. But we're gonna keep on working hard.
But it's gonna
on
be
fixing
a
it.
great improvement. But as you pointed out,
well,
it's like this is a new game. There's new tech. We've added more layers to it. There's gonna be issues.
And
that
we're gonna keep fixing it, right? We're
Yeah.
gonna keep working on this, and we want to make it as good as we can. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Questions.
Pompeii for free? Yeah, Pompeii will be released for free.
Oh yes, it's a pure patch for free.
I think you should heavily patch the game before you even try selling DLC. Sure, I agree.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's literally what we're doing. Or are going to do.
Otherwise, we would have announced an expansion within 3 months and then just gone.
No, we're not doing that.
No.
Pompeii release?
Why do I have to play for the original soundtrack? So, that's a good question. No, we're selling the soundtrack because you can take it with you. It's different formats, and that takes time to create for us. We've done it for all our games, I think.
Yes, and much like Stellaris, if I've understood correctly, it's a living soundtrack.
Yes, so if you buy it once, you're gonna get all the music that is ever released, unless there's a very specific case. If there's a partnership with a band or an artist, that
then
the business terms
licensing.
I also saw a question on Move Capital that's on the list for Pompeii.
I believe so, yeah.
And it should be in the forum post as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So have a read of the forum post for more details of Pompeii.
Seems the AI doesn't grow nearly as fast as should. Yeah, so we are still continuously working on the AI, Ramus. Actually, in Demetrius there are some small AI tweaks in there. But we're monitoring the AI behavior over time. So expect continuously improvement on that area. Like as all our games, right?
Is it normal to just get a ton of bad events?
Well,
or is that a
Well, that's just super unlucky.
yeah.
So it's a feature rather than a bug.
Yeah.
The random might be too random then.
Yeah.
The forum post should be on the Imperator forum made by Johan an hour ago. I'm not sure if we've made it sticky. Maybe we should. Rod, if you're watching, can you make it a sticky post?
I see the chat's going a bit quick now.
Will Demetrius patch have a beta? Most likely not. Want to get it out there as soon as we've sort of tested it and find it stable, and then we'll release it to everyone.
Will Pompeii have a beta?
Possibly, we've not decided.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. If there's enough, people from the community wanting it, then maybe.
Yeah.
I could see us doing that. Our betas already have access to this, by the way, to the Pompeii patch. Add features to the macro builder like moving pops. Yes, we want to improve the macro builder because we ourselves are not entirely happy with it. We like how it is now, but it can be so much better. When that is planned, I can't say. But we are gonna improve it for sure.
Yeah.
Did EU4 have a macro builder on launch?
No.
I don't think so.
No. That got like 3 years later, I think.
Are
you saying otherwise?
I want to say yes. Digging
Yeah?
back in my memory, I want to say it was at least
Someone is gonna correct us. In the chat.
Yeah, okay, sure.
just before
I'm
launch.
not
But
an
it's been
EU4 expert
It came
either.
with Art of War, according to Lambert.
Oh, well, then he knows best.
Yes.
But
this
that's
is what I
also been
thought so.
extended a ton over the
Oh,
years.
yes, of course.
So the macro builder they have now is not the one they had
No.
before.
So will multiplayer have chat, good hot join, and will the game have a ledger?
Ledger is not planned.
Three very different things.
Yeah, exactly. So let's ledger. There is a sort of a ledger in the diplomacy view.
Yes.
It's not entirely the same.
We've sort of gone away from ledgers in our
Yeah.
recent games, and we've tried to just expose that information in the relevant interfaces where you want them instead.
So it's less spreadsheety feeling to it as
Sort
well,
of,
more natural.
And it allows us to also not reveal all info that
exactly.
we might not want people to always have, because it's more fun not having godly knowledge all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if there is knowledge you're missing from a certain interface, do let us know, because it's a typical interface or quality of life feature.
Yeah, exactly. If you are missing information there, let us know.
Yeah.
Someone is asking about the ability to rebind map modes and
Rebinding keys.
Yeah.
Right. I think that it is possible, but you have to edit the text file. It's not possible in game settings.
I think you can create a mod as well. But
Yeah.
since it's a text file, you
Exactly.
can probably just go in and edit there. It's a bit inconvenient, but
I will be honest, I do not know how to do this.
But
I'm pretty sure it's possible.
let's take it with us and look into it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Will multiplayer have chat? It's on the roadmap. We'll see exactly when that gets implemented, and if so, in which format exactly.
Yeah, and also like how much request for it is in the community, right?
Yeah.
We know most people nowadays play with Discord or some other services where they just talk to each other. Yeah.
And for Hotjoin, we have Hotjoin, and we're gonna sort of polish it until it's as good as it can be.
Yeah.
Ever.
Exactly. Will there be a pop-up for a war ending you're part of? Yes, I think there will be. But if it's for Demetrius, I don't know. But we will,
Yes.
because this is a bug.
Yes, purely
where
a bug.
if you are not the war leader, then you will not get a pop-up if the war ended. So this is clearly a bug. So we need to fix that.
Are we gonna add an in-game music track list like every other PDX game in capital letters in every other PDX game?
Thanks, Tiger King.
Much like every other PDX game, I think they got them post-launch,
Yeah.
so we may well get it
Probably.
post-launch.
Yeah,
It's one
makes
of
sense to
those.
prioritize other features and
Yeah,
improving
exactly.
those.
Yeah.
But it's we get the request and we will definitely look into it.
Thoughts on the current state of the UI? Anything you would change? There's a ton of sort of quality of life and improvements we want to do to the interface, but we also want to get feedback from everyone playing first, so we don't iterate on it internally. We release it, and then we get a ton of feedback saying we should do it the other way. So please give us your feedback, and then we'll put a lot of effort into interface, we hope.
There's a couple of people asking about the November issue, and we touched upon it earlier. There's gonna be a fix with the Demetrius patch, right?
Correct.
That is coming out sometime next week.
Yes.
Claims on the map, please.
Also, for the November patch, it is related to Ironman Modes.
Oh.
So if people really want to play, they can play non-Ironman games.
Right.
This
that
is
should
a
fix it.
workaround.
Yeah.
The idea is also for that your Ironman saves will not be lost by the Demetrius patch, and you should be able to continue playing them after the Demetrius patch is released.
Yes. Someone says next week, sad smiley. And I just want to point out that the dev team worked almost 14 hours yesterday. So
close to.
they deserve a little bit of rest this weekend. They've spent the last couple of weeks just giving everything they've had.
Yeah, but it's also the case where you don't want to release something right now because we haven't had the time to properly test it.
No.
So if we release it now and it just causes more issues, then it's just making a situation
Exactly.
worse.
Yes.
No, we need to have the time to let it rest, have it tested, make sure that we know it is release ready.
Yes.
So.
Mercenaries are very easy to abuse. Any fix for that? So Johan mentioned a couple of weeks ago that we will look into the Mercenaries, right?
Yeah, there are some changes in Pompey for them.
Yeah.
We also did a tweak to them in the Demetrius patch. It won't really fix any exploits or abusing you can do with Mercenaries. I probably will come with Pompey.
Yes.
I'm not 100% familiar on the details what we did there, but I know we have done changes.
Could you please add the option to see how much effect building a building in each province would have? Yeah, that feels like a great sort of macro builder
Sounds good.
improvement. So please gather all that kind of feedback on our forums.
Yeah, Probably start like a general thread there saying like macro builder suggestions and
Yes.
post them there so it's all grouped.
Yes. Can we mention, so Paradox Interactive, Johan writes, dual ruler mechanics for Roman Republic. What about the Spartan duarchy?
So that's like 2 male kings, right? I am
Yes.
not familiar with history that well.
Yeah.
And there are consorts for more monarchies.
So what's on the list, if I can read it out loud? It says dual ruler mechanics for Roman Republic and consorts for monarchies.
So unsure if Sparta is covered by that. I guess it's
No.
your definition
Of
of
monarchy.
yeah, and
Yeah.
consort.
Yes.
Can't say.
And the list we're reading off is exactly the forum post. So
Yes. Why did I even ask if I could read it out? It's already
Yeah, I know.
Public.
well, you're a very professional marketing person.
Why don't you separate patch November issue? Wouldn't that be a good idea? We could, but we still need to test it and verify if it works. And yeah,
Yeah. As soon as we make any change in the game, regardless of how small,
yeah,
we still need to go through a full round of testing.
Yeah.
Because anything can sort of happen between making the minor fix
yeah.
and it
Yeah.
ending up
something
on-
slipping,
yeah.
and then it's like the entire game is broken, and yeah, we don't want that.
it has happened
Yeah.
in the past
Oh yeah, no,
for reasons that are very hard to foresee or even
Yeah.
catch.
no,
So-
exactly. So we need to be sure.
Can we have more ways to get CBs? Right now you can only get through nation-specific event, fabricating and forming nations. Another excellent suggestion is to sort of what ways would you like to be able to get
Yeah.
CBs?
Yes.
French localization for which patch? We'll see if we can get it into Demetrius
Yeah.
or if it needs to be in Pompeii. We've yet to sort of fully investigate where this issue came from
Yeah,
because it was sort of unexpected for us as well.
yeah, exactly.
So-
It was totally missed.
Yeah, so we
Um,
need to figure out where in the build process something has slipped between the cracks.
Yeah, and
So-
we're very sorry for the French players.
Our excuse.
Weight of the army is not clearly seen. We should not have to hover over provinces to figure out if we will die to attrition or not. I don't know. I feel it should not be a hassle. So there is a map mode
Yeah.
specifically for this.
I use the map mode when I play in a Death Clash a lot. So
Yeah, so you just press it, you select the army or the armies, and then you can see what provinces they fit in,
Yeah.
attrition-wise.
correct. Is it true that getting achievements in Ironman on easy mode? What?
I don't know.
Game says nothing about achievements being disabled. Ah, right. There is a thing where if the checksum doesn't match, we don't tell you at the moment. I'm not sure if that's been fixed in Demetrius, but I believe there's people looking into that.
Yes.
So if you don't get achievements in Ironman mode, please go to Steam and do verify files,
Yes.
because Steam might have not correctly, some file may be corrupted or whatever. So
Yeah. And this can also be done on GOG or Plaza launchers
Yeah.
as well.
Or
exactly.
Tiger King is asking again. Will the overload be automatically called into a vassal civil war? I've lost 3 vassals already to this. The revolt is not my subject, but I can't intervene in the civil war.
I think Overload is Overlord.
Yes,
Ah,
probably.
Okay.
Overload, overlord.
Yeah, all right. We also called into a vassal civil war. Oh, I see. So vassal has a civil war. Yeah, I think so. That
Yeah.
should already happen. So if that's not the case, please file a bug on our forum.
Yes, or a support ticket.
Support ticket might also work. Yeah.
Yeah. And you could declare war on the rebelling
you
side
can.
of the war.
Yeah, exactly. You just
They
help your
should have
vassal
no
out.
allies.
Are you guys aware of a bug where a civil war's capital is sieged down and changes location?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
It happened to
And-
me in the Dev Clash.
Yeah, and it is fixed in Demetrius.
Yes.
So we don't have to
Please
do-
have the flag in the upper left of screen. Highlight our whole country.
So we don't have to do true character stream. Thanks. Envoy Ice, excellent idea.
Yes, please post it on the forums as a suggestion.
Yeah.
or
We will
improvements.
also make a mental note.
Yeah, exactly, because that makes so much sense.
Yes.
Oh Jesus, chat, please calm down. Okay. CB by assassination of one of your own character would be nice. Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Remember, you just said we have to wait. Yeah, Captain Alexander Hams, we're sorry, but I'd rather have you have like a working game than maybe possibly a broken game.
Is it possible to tell the vassal AI how to behave during a war like you can with your own armies?
That's not possible at the moment. But it's something that we might want to do in the future. Because I can just see like how it works in my head. And this should be possible. Because we have the AI system, right? So you can just assign units to like...
Yeah. Because in EU4 you can tell them to be aggressive. You can...
So it will be similar to that, but a little bit different.
Yeah.
I can see us doing something like that in the future.
Yeah. Again, do you intend to release Pompey or Demetrius as experimental branches on Steam or beta branches? For Demetrius, no. For Pompey, maybe. And for future patches, it'll depend on the patch.
Yeah, exactly. A rival system like in EU4. I have heard whispers of a rival system, but nothing confirmed at all there.
I mean, he's the tech lead. He gets to implement it.
Yeah. The game lags on 9.4. That's before. That's annoying lag. Yeah. FCM Sab, we are aware of this, of the lags, of the stuttering. We're hoping the Demetrius will alleviate it a bit. Please give us feedback after that as well, if it is fixed or not.
Is there a particular reason why you can't just use the E4 system as it is for vassal orders? And just a note, any feature that has existed in a previous Paradox game can't really be carried over very easily. At all. Because as Niels mentioned at the beginning, we are on a whole new sort of technical framework compared to older games.
Yeah, we use the Germany layer now, which is completely different from older games. Copying features is not that simple.
No.
Why are all three of you so handsome?
Well, thanks.
I think that's an obvious lie, but thank you for sort of the
soul by the way.
Confidence.
Cheeky person.
When does Demetrius release? So the aim is somewhere next week.
Yeah.
Yes, that's our target.
Yes.
Anything to the rumors of expanding the time frame or the map down the road? We can't really speak of anything right now. It's not in our direct future plans.
Nope.
But it's something we have obviously done for games like CK in the past.
And it's something we're discussing. Like we're evaluating all types of directions for the game.
Exactly.
It's not that we say not gonna happen and then we just leave it there.
If
We're
there's loads of people saying it on the forums, right? We're gonna have to consider it.
Yeah.
And it also sort of needs to unlock new and interesting mechanics and new and interesting gameplay.
Yeah. And we have to make sure that the game doesn't get too slow if we expand stuff out. See if, keep it interesting. Yeah.
It's a constant balance between sort of, can we do it? Will it affect performance? Should we do it? Is it wanted? So on.
Yeah,
exactly. Is the aim of the dev team to create a healthy multiplayer? I guess you mean competitive multiplayer?
Yeah, I'd argue it depends on the definition of healthy multiplayer.
Yeah.
Stable, absolutely.
Yes. Competitive.
For sure. Competitive, less so.
Yeah.
It should be fun to play with or against each other.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily a e-sport in its current stage.
No, exactly.
But there might be influence from marketing in terms of if we go a more esports route. We did the sorry about that. We did the Masters of Universalis a couple of months ago and had a really good result in that. So that is something that we're all constantly thinking about for all our games, especially PDS, because it can be intense, but it can also be low intense, which means that you don't have to have the quickest reflections.
And Master of Universalis was a sort of one-on-one challenge mode, I would say, rather than a head-to-head France against England competitive game. Yeah,
it's hard to come up with good ideas when the starting conditions are so different.
Yes, and having very different starting conditions is sort of the point of a lot of our games, which makes it,
I see someone writing, don't go esports. We're not going to make a grand strategy esport game for a long while, but there can be elements that we can improve and sort of utilize, as in the games having multiplayer is a good first step.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and I don't necessarily see them as opposite either. It's just we do what makes sense.
Someone is writing Europa Battle Royale when? Daniel Moregård said that EU4 is Battle Royale on crack.
Did he?
I sort of agree. I mean, you can be up to 100 players if you want to.
You can, yeah, exactly, you can. And people do that, right?
Yeah.
I have played in multiplayer games that have that many people. We have the Grand Lawn, which is not 100, but pretty close, I think.
It's like there's 40 teams, but they're split about people because they're playing for such a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, it is sort of better in a sense, I guess.
Will you have resyncing for multiplayer? Desyncing, especially when hot joining, is a common occurrence in other titles.
Resyncing is a planned feature for the future, and I can tell you, it will be part of a free patch if we are having it.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. And the last questions from the chat. We need to
Let's see. This is like
wrap it up. Someone ordered cake for 4 p.m.
Oh shit!
Cake and champagne, and we ended up being in the stream instead, talking to you.
You didn't tell us this before we entered the streaming booth.
Well,
that's
okay. Let's go.
I told the guys, let's go into the stream and have some fun.
Alright.
Oh wow.
Okay. Let's see.
Last questions means easy, quick to answer questions, as in yes and no.
Okay. Will you be?
Will you add more buildings? Building ports. I mean, buildings is one of those typical contents that will for sure come.
Yeah, I'm sure it will happen.
It's
in
typical
one way or
content.
another. Yeah.
Are there free content planned for the foreseeable future? So Pompeii is planned for when?
Before summer, we can say.
Before summer, that's a free update with a lot of features. You can read more about them on the forum, on the subforum for Imperator. Can you add UI color options for different types of color blindness?
Man, yeah, that's something that's been requested often. Something we are very bad at as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to look into improving that in the future.
Yes.
Because colorblind people need to play our games as well.
Yes, I mean accessible and accessible.
Yeah, exactly.
And it does help a lot if you report the worst offenders, so we can sort of crack down on those immediately.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then we'll try to have a sort of a larger and comprehensive look.
Yeah, good point. Because we can do individual fixes. Ideally, we want to have like a system that just fixes it all for people, but that's not easy to build either.
No, it takes a lot of work. So if you have specific use cases, then we can try to crack down on those very soon.
Okay. At a random nation. That's a good idea.
Right, yeah.
Right, so let's do one more question.
But then I can't pick that question. It's too,
All right.
The stream will go live on YouTube as soon as the stream is over, so you can check it out later today if you missed anything. And my clone knows.
Can we get the old launcher? I really miss it and I prefer to the new one. Why was it changed in the first place? So Imperator doesn't really have an old launcher.
No.
Our old launcher was actually unique launchers for each PS game, sharing the same framework but still custom made for each game.
Cost quite a bit of overhead to maintain as well.
And the answer is a hard no, because with the new launcher, that means that we can focus on working on cross-platform multiplayer. We can have an agnostic mod workshop, and it means that it doesn't matter where you buy the game. If you buy it from GOG, from Plaza, from Steam, or any other distribution platform in the future, you can all have the same experience, and it all lives in the same ecosystem.
Yeah. And any sort of cool additions we can do to the launcher then gets shared between any game that would happen to use it.
Yes.
Which is a great benefit from us.
Yes.
Right.
I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining and talking about the two upcoming updates and answering questions.
Thanks to chat for all the interesting...
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, interesting questions, good suggestions. Yeah.
And we'll keep communicating with you guys. So please keep shooting questions, suggestions.
And like mentioned earlier, we are reading forums, Reddit, Twitter, everything. So we're probably gonna be reading a lot this weekend as well. And have lots of cool ideas on Monday.
Oh yes.
We lurk in the shadows. Well, not I.
No, but
the devs.
We do.
Yes.
Thank you very much, chat, and we'll see you next time.
Yes.
See ya.
Bye.